the world will change. Drexel University is designed to change with it. Drexel's unique design combines academic rigor with a transformative cooperative education program, positioning students and faculty alongside the experts tackling today's most complex issues. By constantly learning and evolving as the world moves forward, Drexel produces visionary leaders equipped to anticipate and address the challenges of the future. This is experiential education. Learn more at drexel.edu/ambition can't wait.
Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the War Room. We got Dez, Kill, Jimmy, PJ, B. Austin, the Hot Block Commander. Give it to you how you want it in a 1 or 2 hour show to get the brain running with the premise to talk sports on a national level. Roll with the topic, sorta like the rebels. When it's game time, they like the Fab Five during prime time. Sports conglomerates speak their minds a little bit. For sports medicine and sports veterans and greats. The 4th of 26, so the war ain't Kuwait. It's the War Room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys diversified and educated.
What's good, War Room family? You are once again live in the War Room, brought to you by Kawhi's Laugh, as well as War Room Sports on the War Room Sports Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Dev McMillan. I'm at the round table with my brother from another B. Austin, Jimmy the Blueprint. He's going to be joining us in just a few minutes. The NFL season is past the quarter mark, but this thing of ours, the NBA season, tips off on Tuesday. So you know what time it is for our 2018-2019 NBA preview, so keep it locked right here. And if you want to get in on the conversation, make sure you join us right now in the JW Philly Realty chat room. That's at blogtalkradio.com/the War Room. Or you can join us on Facebook or Twitter at War Room Sports. You can also call us directly in about 10 minutes after we gamble with Gus when we open up the Digital Extreme Tech hotline. That number is 323-410-0012. Before we get started, just make sure that during the week, when we're not live on the air, you check out archive episodes of our show at warroomsports.com, the War Room Sports mobile app, which is free on iOS and Android, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, wherever you do your podcast listening, we are most likely to be there. So, B, you got any of the latest intel on what happened in the Oval Office today between President Tannen and Kanye West? I saw a photo. Kanye was sitting in there. Jim Brown was sitting right next to him. So, Trump had his whole crew of his African Americans up in there. I don't think Ray Lewis made the meeting, but what are your thoughts about Kanye being the representative to go in and speak to the president about things that seemingly when he talks, he doesn't have great knowledge on himself?
I just think that Kanye is negotiating the eventual return of his mother's people to the bondage, and what terms would work, what scenarios, how they utilize his music, his sneakers, and his influence over culture to put us back where we belong. Shout out to the 13th Amendment.
He damn sure did say last week he think we should abolish the 13th Amendment. Hence, another reason I'm saying, Kanye doesn't have a clue of what he's talking about half the time. I'm even going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that one and say that's not what he meant. But being such an unread fellow, he didn't know the difference of what he was saying. And according to the things that he has been saying over the past 6 months or so, most people wouldn't give him the benefit of the doubt and just believe that's exactly what he meant. But who knows? He went in there today talking about Chicago. He's trying to get Trump to free Larry Hoover because he said Larry Hoover has done a lot for Chicago and all that kind of stuff. So he had a mission. Not really sure where he was going with it, but he had a mission.
I gave my thoughts last week, and just a 60-second recap, man. I believe that Kanye West, we know it's documented that he's bipolar, but I see signs of schizophrenia as well. We'll need to be listening to this dude, man. That's just one kooky talker to another kooky talker having cookie cups. Like I don't. It's because his position, even if you do as deep a read as possible on it, and you say, all right, from his heart, he does mean some level of well for black people in this country. Just like you said, he is so underread and inarticulate on the matters. He don't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
And if they're utilizing this photo, they don't care, man. They don't care,
I'm 2 minutes from being done, though, from giving him that mental health, excuse that we've been giving him lately. I'm 2 minutes from, because at this point, like, you know what you're doing, and you're gonna keep doing stuff. 3 weeks ago, you were apologizing to the black community for rocking the MAGA hat and, the comments that you made then. And then, you find out he got some more music coming out, and then he's right back at it, doing the same stuff that he apologized for. So let's not give this dude any more time today, and let's get into what we came here to do. Let's talk some hot topics, and let's gamble with Gus. That's brought to you by MyBookie. What up, War Room fans? Give me a minute of your time so we can talk scratch and how much of it you can make betting on sports contests at MyBookie. The NFL is chugging along. NBA starts Tuesday, and the MLB postseason is underway. So if you haven't checked out MyBookie, this is a great time to do so. Lay down some cash on the biggest games in sports. Join us and thousands of other online players placing bets at mybookie.ag. You're tired of getting a runaround when it's time for a pay? We urge you to join MyBookie. You win, they pay fast, no hassles. You're wasting your time betting on sports anywhere else. They even have in-game live betting, so you can place wagers after tip-off, kickoff, face-off, whatever you're betting on. Join now, and MyBookie will match your first deposit with a 100% bonus. You heard it right, 100%. And to get that bonus, all you got to do is use the promo code WARROOM, all caps, WARROOM, to activate the offer. Visit mybookie.ag today. Play, win, get paid. Period. All right. So it's about that time. Y'all know what we do about this time. It's time to gamble with Gus. Gus Griffin is here with us to give us some information about this week's NFL games. Gus, what's going on, good brother?
How are you?
Straight cash.
I like that intro.
All right. So look, Gus was 3-2 last week. For the season, after an 0-5 start, he's almost back to 500, 11-13-1 on the season. So if you were betting with Gus the last 2 weeks, you were in a good space. So, there should be some happy people out there this week listening to the picks this week. Let's start, Gus, with the Thursday nighter. NFC East matchup. You got the Giants versus the Eagles. The Giants are at home. +3. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, some places you shop, you get 2.5. I don't like to take 2.5 as an underdog. I just buy off the hook and go with the 3. This is what I go with. It's a division game, so division games are always competitive, pretty much. I think as the season goes on, OBJ, Barkley, and Manning are going to get more on the same page, and they're going to get better and better. And I think by the second half of the year, they're going to be dangerous. If, of course, big if, that offensive line can get together. Eagles, I think it's just a typical Super Bowl hangover, but I also think that maybe we're missing on those coaching losses, especially with a young quarterback. That might be playing a role. I think they're going to get it together before the season's over, but for tonight, I'll go with the Giants.
All right. And we got the Chargers. Chargers versus the Browns. What's your thoughts on that one?
Chargers, I'm taking the Chargers -1, and basically just saying they're going to win the game. Look, here's the thing. They're a better team. It's somewhat of a revenge game in that the Chargers were the last team before the Browns beat the Jets that had lost to the Browns in Cleveland. But the other thing, I think the bar for Cleveland is so low that people are kind of overestimating. I mean, they're better than they were last year. What does that mean? Hell, they didn't win a game. So, I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot to be better than you were last year. But they do have some young talent. They're going in the right direction.
But still.
I mean, they do have young talent, and they're going in the right direction. But,
they could have lost,
you know, I mean,
to be better than last season, they could have still lost every game and just scored more points. They would have been better.
Exactly. I mean, you know, you got people getting the political things with, well, Obama was better than Trump. Well, that's a pretty low bar. And don't get me wrong, yeah, he absolutely was. But come on, I mean, that don't take a whole lot now.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Chargers -1.
Well, you know, the Browns have already won the Super Bowl 2.5 times this season, so you know you got to let them celebrate. All right, then we got the Bills versus the Texans. This figures to be a blowout, judging by this line here.
And that's why I'm going the other way. I wouldn't make the Texans a 10-point favorite over anyone with Bill O'Brien calling the plays. I think he's just a total fraud. They shouldn't be 10-point favorites over anyone. The Bills, other than I mean, they've been pretty much competitive, and again, I just don't trust the Texans to be 10-point favorites at this point in their maturation. So Bills +10. Texans win the game. Bills will cover.
All right, and the final and probably the biggest game of the week is the Patriots in Foxborough getting 3 versus the Chiefs.
All right, can I give a little suspense one and get the Colts game in?
Oh, no, go ahead. Get your extra in. You got to get your catch up anyway. You know, you got to go.
That's right.
This is the week you jump over 500. So the more the merrier.
Exactly. Colts +3. I think they're better than a 1-4 team. They're not, you know, they're not a playoff team, but they're better than 1-4. And I don't think the Jets are really as good as 2-3. So seeing the Jets winning 2 in a row is kind of hard for me to see. So I'm going to go with the Colts to win that one.
All right, now for the big one, the
drum roll.
Patriots. The Patriots. Wait a minute, hold on. We got that. I'm a little slow on the board here, but we got that. We're gonna drum roll you for this one because this is the biggest game of the week. Chiefs at Patriots.
Okay, now this is a highly entertaining game that everybody I think should watch. I think the total is like 59, which is that's mind blowing for a professional game. It's also a revenge game. I don't think the Patriots have forgotten the Chiefs ruining their opening night last year when they got their Super Bowl rings. The Chiefs came in there and just blew them out. That knocked a lot of people out of eliminator pools, including myself, out of one. And the Chiefs' defense is really not that good. And not only are they not good, they're desperate. They're actually trying out a wide receiver at safety. This is not a good game to be experimenting in the secondary with Tom Brady. So I'm taking the Patriots -3.
So basically, they playing 11-on-10 because Tom Brady gonna disrespect that dude.
Yeah, exactly.
All night long. All right, Gus. So there we have it, everybody. Make sure I hope you guys took notes. Go out and win you some money because, the comeback is on. It's going to be an early season comeback this year. Last season, Gus came back at the end of the season and made it interesting. We're going to go over 500 now. We're just going to stay there for the rest of the year. So everybody, let's go out here and make some cash. Gus, thank you. And
Indeed.
Also, guys, you can check out, if you go to warroomsports.com, you can check out Gus's latest article on the site, and it's entitled The Trouble with Rewarding the Biggest Loser. So if you guys play in these NFL pick'em polls, even the college pick'em polls, take a gander at that, read that, and I'm pretty sure in some of your pick'em polls you probably can relate, or pick'em pools, excuse me. You probably can relate to this story. Gus, as usual, man, thank you, and we'll wrap to you next week.
All right, gentlemen, enjoy the game.
All right, you too.
Gus
Griffin, everybody. All right, go out there and win your money. Gus is on fire this year so far. Y'all probably saying, okay, he has a below 500 record, but like I said, it was a bad start. In the front, week 1 was very difficult to call. I noticed by just the straight up picks in the War Room Sports Pick'em League that a lot of people didn't do well on week 1 without the spread. So imagine how difficult it was picking with the spread. All right. Just a quick Major League Baseball update. You guys know we don't get in depth with baseball, even though some of us are diehard baseball fans, but we don't really get in depth unless we have the experts on. So we got to call the homie again, B from Yahoo, especially since we're in the postseason. I'll probably wait till. I guess we can wait till the World Series, and we can get some of the baseball experts on here to talk about the World Series before that jumps off. So, yeah, just a quick update on what's going on right now in the MLB. The division series are all over. Houston beat Cleveland 3 games. I'm sorry. Houston, beat Cleveland 3-2. Boston beat the Yankees 4-1. The Dodgers beat the Braves 3-2, and the Colorado Rockies fell to Milwaukee in 3. So your NLCS is the Dodgers versus the Brewers, and your ALCS is the defending champion Houston Astros, which still sounds so funny to say, and the Boston Red Sox. But Houston has been such a doormat in MLB for so many years. It just sounds crazy, for them to be among the elite right now. Defending champs back in the LCS. These are weird times we have in here. You have Houston doing this in Major League Baseball. You had Cleveland winning a championship in basketball. Hell, you had Philadelphia winning a championship in the NFL. Sports has just been turned upside down as of late, man. It's crazy. All right. Did you happen to see? I know Jimmy did. What'd you say, B?
I said absolutely insane.
Yeah. I know Jimmy did because he's the biggest UFC head out of everybody here, and he just joined us. What up, Jim? But did y'all happen to check out UFC 229 last Saturday night, man?
Yes, sir.
Interesting affair, to say the least, man. With laughs all night. In the main event, Conor McGregor jumped back in the octagon, and he ultimately got choked out by the champion, Khabib. I'm gonna take a shot at his last name, Jimmy. Norman Gomendorf. I don't know. Russian ball.
I could. Yeah, pretty much. I call him Brighton Beach.
The fight was interesting, but the main event is what happened after the fight. When a couple of guys, when Khabib jumped out of the ring to get at somebody from Conor's camp, 2 people from Khabib's camp jumped into the ring. And when I say jumped, I don't mean they just ran up and ran through the cage through the door. Like, these people were climbing over the top of the cage. 2 of his guys jumped in there and basically dipped on Conor McGregor in the middle of the ring while he was trying to recover from getting choked out 2 minutes ago. It's crazy. Jim, have you heard? Have they given Khabib his purse yet? Because I heard they were withholding it. And the last I saw a tweet or something this morning from Paulie Malignaggi trying to get in on it.
Mm-hmm.
And they hadn't given Khabib his money yet. Paulie was going to get in because he's like Conor McGregor, so he's going to jump in on all.
Mm-hmm. From my understanding, I haven't heard anything different yet that he's got his bread. I think eventually they'll give it to him. They just got to basically they can't not do something just to show a little
Yeah.
Like
so
they
like
really care.
Like they're investigating, like they care. Like they're not sitting in their offices giddy because of the publicity that UFC is getting from this. Yeah. They gotta act. They gotta act like the NFL. Change some rules.
It's funny because I was
outlaw tackling.
You guys in the group chat. I was talking to you guys in the group chat. I'm like, yo, I was watching CNBC and they were on there talking about the UFC, Dana White, possibly going public in 2019, and I was like, damn, that's interesting. They're going to take it public. But, I've also just saw the WWE in the last couple of years go public. And they raised so much capital, and their stock is shot through the roof. Like, their 52-week range is like $21 and $98, something ridiculous like that. But so I was like, it's possible. And then I saw this happen, and I'm like, it's gonna hurt him. But then I'm like, at the end of the day, like in 2018, publicity is publicity. Good, bad, or different. Like, you know, I'm like, this may help.
News.
Yeah, pretty much. So things have changed. So maybe this helps them. Who knows? But overall,
it really
depends
on whether or not they would have like old school investors, you know, who are looking at risk and all that kind of stuff. You know, if you have people who know about today and what makes things pop, I think they will be fine.
Dog, listen, man, and this is capitalism. So even old school investors only care about the bread. There's not too many social investors. I guarantee you that if there was a company that can somehow scale and put prostitution on the stock market and it was profitable, you'd have guys and gals that would invest in it. Like, let's not forget where we live. But at the end of the day, though, getting back to the point that you were bringing up about them dipping on board, like, you don't mess with the Brighton Beach gang like that, because they really are about that life. And leading up to that match, Conor was doing his typical Conor thing in terms of his trash talk, but he was taking it like way far in terms of talking about his religion.
You got to know who you're dealing with, because, you know, like you said, dude, not really about that life. So Conor's doing his thing, which is selling the fight. But some dudes, you know, you can't go too far with, and they kind of showed him that after the match.
Yeah, he basically did.
We remember everything you said. We're not going to shake hands and smile now like you sold it. Like, no.
This is one of those old school. First of all, he's an Islamic brother, and he's very humble, and he's very like about honor and respect and pride and you know, fear your parents. Like, he's one of them type dudes. And so Conor violated his religion. Conor disrespected his father. He went against everything dude believes in. So, like, dude pretty much held it together, and then like lost
Conor's
at that moment. So
something like that.
You say what?
What did they do to the bus? I keep hearing the story about.
Oh
the
yeah,
bus.
so they were on a bus, and Conor and his crew. First of all, Conor flew a crew in. They weren't even in America. They were like in Ireland somewhere. He flew a crew in to see dude fight at a previous UFC event. But dude was on a bus nonetheless with other fighters. And him and his crew start throwing chairs at the bus. The glass broke, and a couple people got injured, and you know. So, but again, dude has been holding all this in. And here's the crazy part about Conor: is I watch Conor, like, this isn't the first time I've seen Conor lose, even in the octagon. Conor literally like took the Floyd playbook. But the difference is Floyd is still like the most talented dude in his sport, and has never lost. Conor's like fourth loss in the octagon, fourth or fifth loss, something like that. But he's found a way to use his mouth to make a bunch of money. Right. He's still a draw.
There's a lot of young ladies that have done that. I don't know that. I don't know that Conor. You know how it is, man. In the UFC, in the MMA game, to be the best doesn't mean that you're without losses.
No.
Way as
in fact, if you're without losses, that probably means you didn't fight the best. Yeah. Yeah. But what I'm saying is
ducking all them people. But never mind.
What I'm saying is the way that people hold him in high regard in sport, he's not really that though. That's what's interesting. Like, so the average person doesn't watch a lot of MMA. They think that Conor is like the best ever. Like, I've literally heard people say that, and he's almost like what Ronda Rousey was.
Most popular.
He's what Ronda Rousey was. Like, he's sellable. Like, he's created a brand, in the same way she did. You know, she created the girl next door that can fight brand, but all that gets exposed when you get in the cage with like animals, man. These some cats out here, like, you know, their ribs is touching. So all that stuff is you know,
cool. Rousey is one of those tragic stories, though. She's like one of those people who go undefeated for a long time, and then when they lose, they like can't ever win again. Like, damn.
I just looked in the group chat, and Casey Mack said the same thing I did. He said Conor has become Ronda Rousey, and Mr. Jones is the best. Yeah, Jones is the best if he can stay off drugs. But anyway.
Stay off this. Yeah.
Yeah, with that being said, though, the overall card was interesting, man. And we got to talk about the other highlight of the night outside of this, man.
The post-match interview from my man Derek Lewis.
Yeah, man. The legend Derek Lewis, man. Derek Lewis made himself popular.
Which we had it on the board.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I was at a fight party watching this, and as soon as he finished, like, I'm like, why did dude just take his shorts off? And he quickly answered that because Rogan asked him immediately.
He kept it a buck, yo.
He kept it a buck.
And be also, did you see this brother's interview, yo?
No, I didn't. I'm listening.
Right.
I'm listening with bated breath.
Okay,
yeah, you got
it was a brother.
You got to
catch you up, man. But it's a brother, man, Derek Lewis, who it's a heavyweight. He's a brother. He's a heavyweight, and he had a match, and he was actually losing the entire match.
Not good. He just he'll knock you out if he catch you.
Yeah, but he one of them dudes that it only take one. All I need is one mic. Boy, he's a one-hitter quitter though. So even though he was losing the entire match,
that's all it took.
1 minute left in the match.
There was only 17 seconds left in the match when he hit the ball.
Yeah, he hit the ball square in his chin, and I don't know if ball woke up yet. But nonetheless, at the end of
he's still
that will never get over. Salute to Kawhi, because you're gonna be a part of our show forever. But at the end of the match, Joe Rogan asked him. He walks away and takes his shorts off, sitting in his drawers, and the boy said, "Why you take your shorts off?" My man said, "Yo, because my balls is hot." And then he continues to give one of the greatest post fight interviews of all time, in which Joe Rogan is asking him does he want a title shot, and he says, "Man, I don't know." He said, "Man, F what you talking about right now, man. My cardio is trash." Like, he wants to tell somebody interview, man. I don't know what that. He used the word F. I don't know what the F you talking about, man. My cardio is trash. I ain't ready right now. Like, he gives one of the more entertaining post-fight conference, interviews in the cage.
When keeping it real goes wrong, he just kept it all the way 100.
Yo, but here's the thing, though.
He got that title shot.
2018.
It worked.
2018, he went viral, and it's a title shot. Yo, but this is just who he is, though. He's always been this way. Like, even after this interview, he did another interview. As they're going over the matches with Fox, and they asked him, so how's he going to celebrate? And my man says, "I'm going to the crib and I'm gonna throw my wife's legs up in the air and let's see what happens." So, I mean, he's just keeping it real. Like, but the funny thing about it is because this is the kind of character that he's one of the more popular fighters as well. So, I don't know, because Daniel Cormier can brawl. So we'll see.
So we're celebrating this brother for his personality, which has always been a
Joe
part
Rogan
of
said he got the best Twitter and Instagram in the game.
Yo, he
can he really hit?
Let's not get it twisted.
He can punch. Show the hand.
I don't think he's that great. He's not a technician, but he'll punch the shit.
Listen, man, that's what I'm saying. He's going to be in every you're going to be in every fight when you have the one hit. Like, he literally has the one hitter quitter. Like, if he touches you, then you might go night night. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is.
Derek, why'd you take your pants off? Because my balls were hot. I understand. Listen, man, what you just did was absolutely phenomenal. That was an incredible comeback victory, and it shows one of the reasons why people love to watch you fight, that you can put it all to bed with one shot. I told them, boys, I got no more heart. So I keep underestimating me. I ain't all that technical and all that, but I'm getting there. No one will question your heart, sir, after this. This is a come-from-behind knockout after a long time. And you were looking for that big haymaker all night. You found it in the last minute of the fight. I forgot. A few hours before the fight, Donald Trump called me and told me I got to knock this Russian out. They're making him look bad on the news. Give me Putin. They're talking about USA in this whole. Derek, you came into this fight as the number 2 contender with that knockout. You're absolutely one of the top guys in line for a shot at the title next. So tell us what you think about that. I need to sit my black ass down and do some more cardio. What you talking about right now? I ain't trying to fight for no title right now. I'm no gas tank like that.
Yo!
Derek, you're one of the most entertaining guys in this sport. Congratulations on an amazing victory. And thank you very much for a really, really entertaining fight. Thanks for having me.
And by the way, Beyonce, if you didn't catch that, he was fighting a Russian guy, and he said USA in this hole. So
USA in this hole. Yeah.
Yo.
All right, so shout out to Derek Lewis, man. That was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's
And
go
by the
with
way, to answer your question, he has 21 wins and 18 are by way of knockout. So he will he'll knock somebody out.
He'll knock your jaw. You're gonna stand there and get it knocked out. Let's go to the phone line real quick. We got all the way out in Arizona. Tobias, what's going on, good brother?
Man, roll damn tide, fellas. Still number one with a bullet. And Jabari Parker already got benched. He ain't out in preseason yet.
Hey, Zach LaVine can dunk though.
Hey, the light skin trampoline is back at it. I don't know who got better hops, him or the Flying Grayson. Shout to Nightwing. But here's the thing. First thing crossed my mind, I watched Habib and his homies cut a fool. I bet the bounce at the club won't tell Habib he can't wear his J's in the club. I tell you that.
That was them goons.
Yeah, I know. But I've been overseas. I've been in the military. I've been to those countries like in the Middle East. They take their religion seriously. You don't talk bad about it. Like these other countries, you don't talk bad about their families. They take that stuff seriously. And Connor just found out this guy was about that life.
Yeah, he wanted all the smoke. And wasn't a couple years ago when a guy drew a cartoon on the paper and like made fun of like Allah in a cartoon paper, and they murked him. They murked him. Like, you can't play these games, man. Listen, man, religious wars, man, are something crazy because people, like, in the words of Napoleon Bonaparte, man, a religious war is two people arguing over who has the better imaginary friend. But beyond that, you can't mess with certain people, man. You can't mess with certain. You can't mess with certain people when it comes to that, man. And like you said, I want to see if they do fight again. Is he gonna have that same rhetoric throughout, or is he gonna chill this time?
Hey, you know what? He's gonna be shook like before Omar Epps was on Juice.
Much bigger entourage. He's gonna have way more people there with him.
Conor gonna be shook like Omar Epps was on Juice, and Tupac closed that locker on him. It's gonna be like that.
When he closed that elevator on him.
Yeah, I know, right? He tried to shoot him in front of like 20 people on the elevator. Yo,
but
Habib don't give a fuck about steal either.
That's true. This is true.
Habib.
He more of a man. Never mind. Go ahead.
But that whole the Jimmy Butler thing. You know, I was off work today, so I was kind of watching the sports shows. Of course, Jimmy's favorite radio host, Cowherd, was like, he want to be about him. He want to play with LeBron. And I'm like, well, Jimmy may want to play in New York. But the thing is that I thought it was hilarious how Jimmy was cutting up on the T-Wolves. But it kind of like exposes their two top players where Cat has all the talent in the world. I believe Wiggins just athletic gifted, but he doesn't want it. And it shows that, you know, it's kind of hard to say you can't give them the money, but at the same time you're stuck, and your best two guys are guys who don't want it bad enough. And it's like you're not going to get that far. And it was just crazy. Like a year ago, all these GMs said they want to start their team with Towns, and I don't think any of them said it this year. It's just crazy how a year changes things.
This time last season, prior to the regular season started, this time last season it was Towns over Embiid, Towns over, just pick a young big man that you think is talented.
Last year it was Towns over Anthony Davis. Like, Towns is that guy going into the season, but it's amazing what a playoff run will do to you. And Tobias, to your point, I don't think that's their best two. I think that Butler is their best player, but I think that those two guys have the biggest upside. But the problem is, I kind of agree with what you're saying, because not just from the way Butler's acting, but from when you talk to like other people in the league, or not talk to him, I haven't talked to him, but watching interviews, it's kind of like Butler is like very aggressive. He wants to get better, even to the point they said he chastises coaches for not pushing him hard enough, which is why he likes to play with Tibbs, because every other coaches don't push him hard enough. And those other two guys are like fallback guys. Like, they have so much natural talent that they just don't work hard. It kind of reminds you like Kobe and everybody else. like when Kobe would get on Dwight, because Kobe expects a certain level of like, you know.
Jimmy's problem is, though, like you said, he does like to play under Tibbs because of the challenge that he gets from him. But, usually, you know, when he's with Tibbs, he grows tired of the dudes he's playing with, so he's always asking to leave from a Tibbs team.
Yeah,
so, like,
because they don't have everybody with the same level.
He probably gonna be like, look, trade me.
So it's funny. It's funny, Jimmy. I usually would call you the hyperbole king with the whole, you know, Cat better than Anthony Davis, but I literally saw that at least 3 times where there were people that were dumb enough to say Tobias can vouch for me. There were GMs when they did the survey. They do it every year in terms of who you want to start your line, who you want to start your franchise with. He was one of the top guys in the league selected.
He was the
this
top
season,
guy.
They did the same survey. He's not even mentioned.
Like Jimmy said, it's a shame what a playoff run can do for you, or can do for you on the opposite side of the spectrum.
To quote Mel, man, he went from top 10 to not mentioned at all. Like, and the crazy part about
the playoff
this whole
run
thing
did
is
for Jason Tatum versus Cat.
Exactly. This is why when you get in the playoffs, you got to go. But Dev, we both have heard stories and read books about just how crazy Pat Riley is. And that's why I find it interesting, because he wants someone to push him hard. Send him to Miami, because you know this boy is like known as to be a maniac in terms of like how crazy he is with pushing his team. So I mean, put it like this: he got Shaq in shape. So I mean, with that being said, let's see if he gets.
You talking about a miracle worker?
Let's see. But I'm saying that's kind of what he's notorious for, is how
Shaq was also Kobe motivated at that time too. You know, I got to get another chip for this dude.
This is true. but I'm just saying that's interesting too, because but at the same time, like Butler's ego, to me, the way it comes off, and again, part of me doesn't want to say this, but because I said it yesterday in our group chat, I'm like, yo, Butler's ego and his game don't match, because he has the ego of like, and it's funny because Dev made a comment. Dev was like, yo, Butler's ego and LeBron's game don't match. And, you know, I said it was a fire bar, so I told you the bar to repeat. I give you credit.
There might not be a match in the league for his ego. Because, I mean, I got exactly what you were saying, Jay. Because by no way you're saying he's not good, not even like at least a second-tier player.
Here's why like I'm like hesitant to say that, though, because I've also watched the league the last couple of years, and I saw what the Spurs did to your guy, the last Meister. And I see how teams can, like, flip and change a narrative on a player when there's like, contention there. And they plant stories and plant things, and then we just start to believe it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hesitant to say that, because I don't know exactly what he said, but I know what's being reported. But I've also seen how teams can, like, you know, can turn on you. Because think about you know, your guy down in San Antonio. Before all that, there was nothing about him. Once he said he was disgruntled, you know, he was the worst player in the world. He's the worst person in the world.
Right,
you know the problem is
it's all good though, because we all know that.
All I had to do was sit back.
I was about to say he getting the last laugh. So
see, you know, Minnesota did it all wrong. You gotta do the GM LeBron way. Pump up Brandon Ingram, say he's the next guy, then trade him off for a star. That's how it's gonna happen.
LeBron be doing that too. He damn sure did pump up Ingram the other day, so his days are numbered.
He's done. Hey, I still think Luke Walton's done by Halloween. But here's the thing, you know, and like I heard people talk, like Kyrie was talking about like leaving. But see, everybody will quick to bash him. Now I think Kyrie is one McNugget short of a 6-piece. But the thing is, if he would have stuck around, LeBron's known for bouncing, not telling you what he's gonna do. You would have been stuck with Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith, and all that too. But I think the one thing with him that a lot of pundits, the Nick Wright, so other apologists may not get is maybe Kyrie got tired of hearing before LeBron showed up, you was nothing. And maybe he wants to show that, hey, I could be one of the top guys on a winning team, because I don't care who you are. That would eat at you if you're a competitor.
I was about to say, you ended that correctly, because I was about to add that. Like, if you're a competitor, like, some dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
but let me ask you a question.
Shout out to James Jones. Shout out to James Jones, about to be the GM of the Suns. He owed LeBron his life.
So with the way the season played out, with the Celtics going on that deep run without Barry, how does that affect Barry as the competitor? Like, so now does he come back?
Goodbye.
Hey, what I'm
New York is all I got to say.
But you know what? Kyrie told the Boston crowd yesterday that he was going to resign there next year if they would have him.
Yeah, he did say that.
But again, I don't know if he's going to just.
Hold on. Y'all remember Carlos Boozer said the same thing? Hey,
yeah, I know that.
Y'all remember Carlos Boozer had that handshake agreement with Cleveland those years ago? Next thing you know, he was Utah and the Mormons.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is.
Brian also said not 6, not 7, not 8, and then after 2 more years of not being able to do it, he was like, all right, I'm out.
All I'm saying is Barry did say that on the microphone in public, and that could just add to the fact that he just wants to be a heel when he leaves. I think at this point, right, I think some guys, it's really becoming, and it's crazy how I look across all the sports and you see the influence of Vince McMahon. But Vince McMahon changed the world. Like, cats really be trying to play the heel in team sports. Kevin Durant gets off on being a bad guy, pause. And I see that, like, either he's going to stay there or he has no problem being the heel. Being the bad guy is a thing now, even in team sports. So if he left, it wouldn't shock me. But if he stayed, but my thing is that the Celtics don't have at least the same level of success. Let's say they don't even make the Eastern Conference Finals. Is everybody just going to jump on Barry anyway? Is it going to be just like playing for LeBron or with LeBron?
Yeah, and here's the thing, though, what people are missing is
LeBron fans. It's going to be like that. All the LeBron fans will definitely jump on him like that. And there's a lot of words in the media, so pretty much the answer is yes.
And you know what, guys? And the thing is, everybody's penciling the Celtics in like they're going to win the chip this year. Couple of things. To me, I think they have too many players. And a lot of chips fell their way last season. The Sixers were young. The Bucks are probably the worst coach team in the league. In the East, they lost to LeBron. They lost to him in Game 7. And they were missing Kyrie, and they never had Hayward. So the thing is, a lot of chips fell their way, and they may not get no break because some of those teams are getting better.
I noticed
agree with that, but also
all throughout the summer.
Jimmy,
I think we've had this conversation. Like, people definitely have penciled in the Celtics as the number 1 team. Now, I'm not even going to front. If we take it down to the number 1 and 2 team, they've even penciled in the Celtics and the Sixers. A lot of people are forgetting about Toronto. A lot of people are forgetting about Milwaukee and the chances that they may have unseat either one of these teams. But the Celtics have definitely penciled in. And Tobias, I think you make a great point with how deep they are. I think this is going to, in order for them to live up to everything that they're supposed to be, and they do stay healthy, I think this would actually have to be Brad Stevens' best job to date, because he's going to have to juggle, all of these egos that may have been created last season when the stars were out and they still did what they had to do. So he's got to get everybody. It's going to be crazy.
You got Keith Murray, who is one of the primary reasons that they even went as far as they went. And what happens if they start off slow, and because he's not in the starting lineup and he's not getting his touches? It's going to be very interesting, man. How many out of timeout plays he can call?
One of them dudes going to start Odell Beckham. One of them dudes.
Yeah.
Hey, can I touch on that real quick? I know you don't have much time. Here's the thing, and I said a couple years ago that Eli reminds me of the old boxer who can't punch no more. It's over. If if his last name was Jenkins, not Manning, he would have been ran out of town. It's like
this is probably true, but at the end of the day, his last name ain't Jenkins. It is Manning. So
Peyton got big.
Sometimes you got to deal with that. Like you got to let Eli do what Eli do. He got you 2 chips.
And one of those chips came in when Bush was in office. I think one was when Obama first took over.
How many chips did the Giants got without Eli? Right, so they got what? Phil Simms chips, Jeff Hostetler chips. So they got like 2 or 3 without him. Like
2.
You know what I mean? So
Two.
I mean, Eli's a giant legend, and I mean, it's sort of like, and I understand your perspective because it's like Kobe at the end. Kobe was doing nothing but hogging up money and the time to rebuild, but he still is Kobe. Like, what you gonna do?
At least it's Bush too, Tobias, because there's a lot of other teams in the division still bragging about Bush 1 trophies.
Yeah. You know what the problem is also? See, in the NFL, like in college, out here, Josh Rosen is a good quarterback. He looks good. The coaching staff is incompetent. I went to one of those games, the Earl Thomas flip-off game. I still don't understand why he set up for a 45-yard field goal. Don't beyond me. But you have to be in position. You have to suck in the right year to get the quarterback. Now, let's say they win a couple games. They say we'll get a quarterback now. Now you got to trade assets when you had a guy in your lap already. You don't have to trade the assets now. I just think sometimes that it's okay to say, hey, we can at least draft a guy to at least let Eli play it out. Kind of like the Chiefs did with Mahomes. You can still still draft your guy, but you can still play as veteran for this year anyway. And that guy grow.
We've seen it play out different ways. Some teams do that. Some teams don't want to do that. Like, so we've seen it play out different ways. Or you recognize that I'm a suck anyway with Eli in there. So let me get my running back and then come back next year and grab me another. Like, it all depends upon how you look at it, man. Like, hindsight is 20/20 because
Steve Spurrier
both
said
ways.
hindsight was 50-50.
Hey, Blake Bortles available.
Definitely.
But hey, you guys have a good one, guys. Thanks for taking my call, fellas. And
no doubt.
Have a good one, fellas. A roll tide, baby.
All right, we're wrapping next
week. Peace. Yo, speaking of Bush 2, who would have thought a couple years later that Bush 2 gets more love in our community than Kanye after that? Never mind.
No, right? Kanye West does not care about black people.
That's crazy.
I was going to talk a little bit about the Eagles and reworking Fletcher Cox's deal and all that stuff, and the fact that they might be going after a running back. But we'll get to all of that some other time. Maybe they'll make a deal for a running back before we get to the next show. But let's talk a minute since we brought up the whole Odell Beckham thing and throwing teammates and team and franchise under the bus. Can anybody make out like what that interview was about this past Sunday and why Lil Wayne was sitting there just grunting and co-signing and instead of talking? Now, of course, I've only seen that 3-4 minute clip. According to Wayne, everything was edited and it was a great interview and he, interjected and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was Lil Wayne grunting and co-signing with everything Odell said. Is this a good look for Odell? The fact that he, Aaron Sunday for the game, from the team under the bus.
Here's what I recognize about Odell Beckham, right? So, as this was happening on the countdown, I was out and about. I was in like Applebee's, chilling, having a conversation with some people at the bar, what have you. And I saw it on, but it's kids that were in the actual restaurant. And when Odell came on the TV, they like walked up and crowded around it. What I recognize about Odell is, and he's talking to like kids in my finance classes, Odell Beckham is probably the most popular football player amongst a certain generation. Like kids who don't even like football love Odell Beckham because he's like a character, and he's already got paid. And at this point, I guess he feels like, yo, this is my team. This is not even Eli's team. I'm going to say what I got to say because what are you going to do to me at this point? Like, you gave me $1 gazillion guarantee. What are you really going to do to me? Like, and I think that a part of Odell is also
it's definitely something you can pull when your quarterback is as old as Eli is. Because he's on his way up.
You're in the prime of your career. They already paid you. You're probably one of the most popular guys in your sport. So what do you have to lose at that point? The whole ambiance of the interview with like Lil Wayne sitting there pretty much as just a co-signer was kind of like, to me, hilarious, for one. For two, is weird because
somebody said it looks like bring your kid to school day, and his kid was just sitting there.
Oh my God,
well behaved.
Salute to Lil Wayne, man. Salute to Weezy F, man.
Carter 5.
Who's
gonna
a
make
legend
a video
in hip hop,
but saying the wrong thing about that interview too.
But I just find it funny because like Well, to me, it's just amazing, right? Because he didn't say anything at all. And again, like he said, it's probably edited, what have you. But as I'm watching it, because the next day on YouTube, just to see what he was there for, I'm like, I don't think he said anything. What is he there for? And the one on YouTube, he doesn't say anything again. And then it's weird because as our brother Phil's telling me that Odell Beckham has like an infatuation with Lil Wayne anyway, to the point where he has Lil Wayne tattooed on him. So
on his thigh.
No missile.
Hold up, be off, and it gets worse. It's not that he has a Lil Wayne tattoo on him. It's on his thigh. For one, what grown man gets a tattoo on his thigh? That's the one thing, right?
Right.
But he has a bunch of people that he admires, like on his, like he has Martin Luther King. Then next to him he has like Malcolm X, and next to him he has Tupac, and next to him he has the Joker. Then like Lil Wayne. It's just random people that I guess he admires that he, gets their faces tatted on him. So, it's kind of weird.
Poster in your man cave. You don't put another dude on your side. Jimmy and I agreed. Like I didn't want to, I didn't know who was in the group. I didn't want to offend too many people, so I had to throw the disclaimer out there. I'm like, look, first of all, I don't think men tattoo their legs, period. But their size.
Like we came up at a different time though.
Come on, man.
I came up at a time where like, dudes didn't get leg tattoos. As a matter of fact, I came up with a time like, and again, I'm dating myself by saying this. Where dudes didn't even get earrings in both ears. Like if you was a dude and you got an earring, like there's only one ear you supposed to. It's just a different time. But I
would say you can't get a tattoo above the knee. Like I've seen tats, on the calf or whatever.
I can't get no leg.
I can't get no tattoo above the thigh. Yeah, and the earring thing. There was a time. What was it? Your right ear? You could only do it in the right ear.
No, only your left. I think it's only the left. Only your left. Only the left.
But look, cause
that changed.
Things change, but I don't think things should change
Tupac had a
enough
nose
that you
ring
can
too.
ever get another dude on your thigh, especially a dude that's alive. You're cool with him. You hang with him. Y'all are walking down the street together, and his photo is on your leg.
His face is on your leg.
Yo, that's like Dez getting a B. Austin tattoo on his arm.
We on vacation with our lady, and we at the beach, and
somebody gonna double take. Like, hold up.
I got my swimming trunks on, and we all chilling, walking down to the beach, and this boat picture on my leg.
I'ma just say what it is. Like,
Jimmy ain't using himself in that example either. He like y'all.
Another human being is tattooed on your body, and it's not your mom, your grandma,
or
maybe, or
it could be your seed though. Like if it's your seed,
it could be your kid. It could be your kids. But anybody else, whoever,
so baby can have one of Lil Wayne. He probably do.
Here's the funny thing. I've seen cats with tattoos. They get tattoos of their kids, like the day their kid is born, and then like years later, the kid don't look nothing like that. And you be like, who is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, because the tattoo you got like a little Asian baby. But anyway,
if the tat of another human being is on your body, that means you they Mitch, man. You they Mitch.
Yo. What I'm saying is like it's so all right. So here it's. This is an interesting topic because I'm not even like being comical about it, right? Because there's a thing that we don't do in our community, which is give people their flowers while they're here. But this is taking it a step too far.
Shout out to you,
this is just my opinion.
That's not flowers. That's a garden. He gave that man
a gay garden. That's a gay garden.
Take this whole garden.
He gave that
while
man
you're here, you can have this whole garden.
That's a secret garden.
You get flowers. I'll take good care of you. Got the Quincy Jones in the secret garden. That's what a man is supposed to do. Yo, rest in peace, Barry White.
Let's go. Well, Dez Bryant and Jerry Jones have had a kind of a war of words over the past few days because Dez basically at this point is desperate. I think it was all moxie. He was trying to act like there were offers out there and he wasn't worried. because he's tweeting the new team every day on joining, and he's back to the Cowboys now. But Jerry Jones is basically, with his words, saying, like FOH. And he's going back to the time that Dez was there. And let me read his quotes. He said, first of all, a true number one you saw the other night, talking about Julio Jones. He said, you see players like that. In my mind, every team doesn't have a true number one receiver. When you put it in that class, those guys just absolutely change the ball game with where they are. And that hasn't been our case for several years here, that we've had a true number one, not a true number one. So he was taking shots at Dez. Dez comes back and tweets. Jerry Jones was in the interview. Dez tweets after disagreeing with it the first time. He said, I don't know what Jerry meant by that number one wide receiver, but I damn for sure would have kept them chains moving. Then he, as a receiver playing for the Dallas Cowboys, because at this point, it's going to sound like his agent told him to chill if he wanted to, have any shot at getting back on this team. He says, as a receiver playing for the Dallas Cowboys, your mind has to be right because you will never see targets like AB, OBJ, D-Hop, none of those guys. I was never schemed into things. These people tripping, yo. Go ahead, Joe.
Yo,
I got some.
It's sad.
It's a couple things about that, right? It's a couple
sad.
things about that. For one, he's turning into Twitter fingers. You know what I mean? Like, he's turning into Twitter fingers for one. Two, sometimes, man, in the words of Aubrey Graham, man, a wise man once said nothing at all. So he could have just shut up this entire time, and it probably would have fared better because other teams are looking at this, and I don't get the point. Let Jerry talk his talk and just ignore him. I know it's difficult to do when someone's like sending subliminals directly at, and everybody knows who they're talking about. But that's what you got to do at this point. You're not employed. And the thing is, Dez can play football. Right? No, like Dez, in my opinion, watching football, he was one of the better receivers in the league. I don't think he's in the class of the people that he mentioned. So he's honest about it. You're not Brown. You're not Julio. You're not those guys. But you're not far off either, though. You're also not Todd Pinkston. So
he far. Jimmy, he far off, man. I know you haven't watched
he's not that.
In a while.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, dog. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me there are receivers in the league that are every receiver in the league is better than him. You're bugging right
now. Not every. No. I can't tell you every.
What receiver on the Eagles right now is better than Dez?
Probably about 3 or 4.
I'll wait.
Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar.
Okay.
Jordan Matthews.
Nelson Aguilar, you would say is better than Dez?
At this stage, yeah. Yes. His route running is better. His hands, he runs much more of the route tree.
Jordan Matthews is better than Dez?
No hands. Huh?
Jordan Matthews is better than Dez?
Yeah, Alshon is definitely better.
I know. I say even if I give you Alshon,
I say Alshon is the only one with a case.
That's the only one that even has a case. Other than that, you're just straight up bugging.
Aguilar, the only thing that he would be better at is running after the catch, maybe juking a couple of dudes. But even that, Dez wasn't no hoe at that. Dez was physical, so he can get some yards after you get the rock. I agree that Dez, he's not technical. He's not going to run routes all crisp like that. But I'd rather have Dez than all them dudes you naming except for Alshon.
Yeah, you are bugging. Like Dez had multiple 1,300-yard receiving years. He had seasons where he scored 16 touchdowns. Like
he does. He has all of that, and all of that was half a decade ago. It's all half a decade ago. He hasn't been good in 3 years.
You're talking about in 2013.
And also for the last 2 years, they had Dak Prescott too. B. Like, don't forget that.
so let's give it its full context. The last couple of years, they had Dak Prescott in the year before that. He didn't even play every game. He only played 9 games. And even in those 9 games, he still put up numbers, not great numbers, but he still he only had so many targets, 72 targets, 31 catches. So he puts up numbers.
The first season, definitely the first year, Dak was forcing the ball to do. I don't care what Dak said. Dak was forcing Rock to do.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Dude couldn't catch. Yeah, he was.
Yo, when was Dak's first year? 15?
16. He did have 96 targets and 16, but forcing the ball to him and forcing it accurately is two different things. Like, you keep throwing the ball over my head, that's still a target for me, but what I'm gonna do with that?
This whole thing has always been a catch.
He had 96 targets, but when he was like getting his biggest numbers, he was getting 159, 138, 136. Like, all I'm saying is, them dudes you're saying are better than him. If we're comparing numbers, you're bugging. You can sit there and tell me about, like, all I'm saying is.
I think you're remembering what Dak. I think you're remembering what Dez was. He's not that dude and has not been that dude.
But what I'm saying is, he's not that dude with who? With Dak throwing to him?
I think it coincided with
his numbers.
The quarterback.
His numbers literally went down the day that Dak started as their starting quarterback. Yo, if you look at the line,
no, I ain't gonna argue there because I think Dak is a piece of trash. But
no, I mean that's
I think Dez has fallen. Dez has fallen off, man.
Based on what though? Based on play with a quarterback who's inaccurate, who's not. I mean, and most people would say that Dak's not even that good of a quarterback. I saw the other day.
The last full season he had 88 receptions for 1,300 yards and 16 touchdowns. That's the last full season.
That was one.
What are you talking about?
That was one.
That was 2014. In 2015, he only played
2014. Jimmy about to jump on that, and it was 2014. It was 2014.
But listen,
his last full season.
But listen, 2015, he only played 9 games, and then 16 and 17, he was with. He
played with Dak, which is playing handicap.
See, I mean, in last season, he still had 69 catches. What was down was his average per catch. His 69 catches he only had.
Where were his drops? He's been top 5 in drops the last 3 years.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What wide receiver since Dak has been playing has put up any numbers? Any wide receiver? So
on that team,
his declining number is more of a point about his game or about the fact that he's playing with a quarterback who can't play the game of football. No receiver's putting up numbers with Dak.
The whole game. That boy can't play the whole game of football.
Yo, he can't play the whole game of football. Like, so I mean, I just don't know. My point in saying
my thing is I'm not going to argue with Dak. I'm not going to argue on the Dak point because I agree with that. Like, I agree with that. But then I saw DeAndre Hopkins play with no quarterback. DeAndre Hopkins plays all tackle one, and he puts up numbers.
He also ain't playing with Dak. Dak is playing at a disadvantage. I'd rather have a bad quarterback than Dak. He's playing at a one thing I saw somebody in our chat. I'm not sure about the stat. It says Dak never threw for like 150 yards in a game. It was something stupid like that.
No, it ain't been that bad. His average is below 200 though.
That's what it was. It was like he hasn't thrown
for
over 200 yards.
His average is like 190 something in a game where the average NFL quarterback throws for 240 yards.
He had 10 drops last season. He had 2 drops the season before that.
Okay.
I don't know what he had.
Throwing to him?
So we're gonna blame the drops on Dak?
You don't think the drops can be blamed on a quarterback?
Drops? No, I'm not blaming drops.
I'm talking about because sometimes if the ball touches your hand, they call it a drop. Sometimes it touches your hand. You had to do a hero effort.
It depends on who's throwing it. Because I have heard you say in the past, like McNabb don't know touch. He yards and he throwing the ball 70 miles an hour. Sometimes
that's true, but Dak arm ain't nowhere near strong as McBeefcake Paul's.
I don't know. It might be.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
Yo,
I don't know. Because I don't have like a video of each drop and to see what it was, so I'm not even.
It sounded to me like you watch just as much football as I do, brother.
Yo, I watched the all 22 tape a year ago on your man Dez. And I was looking at the separation in the route tree. Yo, my man can't get open. Yo, he can't get open.
Put it like this: with the Eagles situation right now, we get Dez for $5, relative NFL money. If we can get him for cheap, is what I'm saying. I take Dez. I take him. He could be like the.
I don't see.
Put Aguilar in the slot. Put Dez on the wing on the outside with Alshon. I take it any day.
Oh, okay. So here's a good one. Jimmy, I'm not even going to take you into consideration in this question because you didn't see this dude play when you did watch football. All right, Mike Wallace. Where do you rank? Where do you put Mike Wallace? Now they haven't been because he may have fallen off too.
I put him.
I can't really tell. He don't even get on the
field. Only Wallace I acknowledge is Christopher.
All right, we'll get back to this because I don't want to waste all that. We got some NFL. I mean, we got some NBA stuff to do.
I just wanted to give. That's just your Cowboys hate.
I want to give a stat of the week. Shout out to the homie Drew Brees, who surpassed Peyton Manning as the NFL all-time leader in passing yards. He now sits at 72,103 passing yards and counting. Quick question. We can't talk about this for a long time. I just want you guys, where do you guys rank? You don't have to give me a finite number, but, is Drew Brees in that mix? All right, everybody who out there who's listening, who's read Jimmy's book, Sports, Smart People Only Read the Sports, he made up a concept of there not actually being a GOAT, which I think you guys do waste a lot of time having GOAT arguments because it's subjective. Nobody can prove that, one person is that over the other. Nobody's going to universally agree with anybody. But what Jimmy came up with is the table of gods. So, most of the people who are in these GOAT discussions, sit at this table. Even though Drew Brees has always put up the kind of numbers that he put up, I don't really hear, and even in our conversations, I'm not sure if people put Drew Brees on that level. I know he's in the room. I know he's in the building. But is he at the kiddie table or is he at the table of guys? Do y'all, is he there? Because a lot of people still disrespect him.
I think it's interesting, right? Because if you look at football, right, and which we're talking about, but not just football. This goes to basketball and all the major sports. There's always a guy who everyone knows is elite. Everyone knows is one of the top people at their profession, but they just come around at a time where there's people that are just mega stars. So you play in the shadows of, say, a Michael Jordan or a Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady. You're right there. You're right on the cusp of being there with them. But the fact of the matter is you just got outshined because you come along at a time where it's you got, you got these guys, right?
So Jimmy, what you're describing is what Drew Brees is and what a Donovan McNabb thinks he is.
Right. So
I just came around.
Even with a guy like Marvin Harrison, right? I never really hear people mention him, and it's because he came up at a time where he was overshadowed by a Randy Moss and a T.O., but he held his own, right? He held his own.
Right.
In several years, he actually had better years than they did. But the fact of the matter is, he just happened to play at a time where those dudes were just
He may have been more consistent than both of them from year to year.
In this conversation, I think we're really, I guess we have to split hairs. I consider Drew Brees to be the fourth best quarterback of this era behind Peyton,
Tom and McNabb.
McNabb. the God, and then Drew Brees.
McNabb.
McNabb better than all of them at throwing the ball in the ground.
And then Dev, you always have to ask the question what has Drew Brees done for Black Lives Matter? So
true.
If you ask that question, no. But
seriously, you can come up with a good answer. See, but you know what? You did exactly what I hear people do when Drew Brees' name comes up. You talk about where he stands in his era. Other cats, you immediately go to the top 10 of all time, the top this of all time. But when Brees' name come up, talk about eras. And I'm like, why does Drew not get the respect? Like, if we talked about Steve Young, Elway, or somebody like that, we're like, yeah, where do they stand the top 10 of all time? We start talking about Drew, and then people bring up his era. So,
and it's crazy
right.
because I've seen the same thing happen with like Jim Kelly, right? Jim Kelly was a beast.
Yeah,
that's a great Marino, Montana, Elway, Young. They were all those guys on that time until like even though Jim Kelly went to 4 bowls, you know, I guess they hold that against him because he didn't like because Scott Norwood, salute to him.
I'm about to say because none of the losses was his fault.
Yo, you probably winning 4 in a row is probably harder than winning 1. But nonetheless, I just shout out to LeBron. But I just think that it's interesting, man, because he definitely has to be one of the better quarterbacks of all time, and that's the problem when you try to compare those because there's so much context to this. Because
he's top
because
15.
when you look at because you start playing the game where if you replace him with Brady and put him with Belichick and the defenses that he had, what does his career look like? If you take Brady out of that system, Brady might not even be in the league.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not hating on Drew because I do think he's clear fire.
Yes, you are.
Clear shot Hall of Famer. Clear shot Hall of Famer.
Clutches.
I give him top 15. But now I ask y'all a question: how much of that is system and play calling? And your rebuttal to me could be, well, how much of it is system and play calling for Brady? And you'd be right to ask.
And for Peyton.
I think it would be more so for
how much do you want? Like, even with Peyton, everything is about system. And listen, that's the thing about football.
Peyton
also,
created
football
his
probably
own
the more.
system.
But hear me out though. If Peyton doesn't get with what's his name Moore, and they sit down and allow him to have the leeway that he had, you never know. If Peyton goes to one of those coaches.
Like Andy.
Yeah, he goes to a control freak that makes him hand the ball
Andy
off
the quarterback.
And this is what I'm saying. What I'm
Andy
saying
wasn't,
is so
Andy wasn't a control freak. He knew he had a dumbass at quarterback.
I knew that was
coming. All I'm saying is football is so difficult because it's so many things that have to go right to win. You got so many moving pieces. You got, it all depends upon the system you get put in, the leeway you get as a quarterback, even the rope you get as a quarterback. I remember literally watching Peyton Manning play as a freshman, as a rookie, and they were stinking it up, getting blown out. I think they went like 1-15. He was throwing picks all over the place, and they let him play through it. And some teams wouldn't have allowed that to happen. They would have like, all right, this boy's a bum. Get him out of here.
You know what?
Jim,
I'm really thinking this through, and there's 3 things that I look at with a quarterback. Number 1 is accuracy. Number 2 is anticipation.
Nobody's better than Breeze. Breeze still up there. Everything you say is Breeze.
Accuracy, anticipation, and your command of the coverages and defenses you face. Notice, people, I did not say arm strength. Accuracy, anticipation, and your command of the coverage and defensive fronts. And in those 3 areas, it's kind of funny you say that, Jimmy. It's like it's hard to find. It's hard to find 2 guys that are better than Drew Brees at any of those 3 things. It's really hard. His anticipation. He knows where everybody's supposed to be, and he's one of those guys where when he throws an interception, it's almost never his fault. It's usually the guy fell down or the guy wasn't where he's supposed to be on time.
And getting to the point Tobias made, although he was talking about the NBA in terms of having things go right for you. He's had some bad luck too, because many believe that last season, if not for that debacle in Minnesota, he would have been playing for another Super Bowl and possibly winning another Super Bowl.
I believe
I didn't want to play him.
That was the smoke I didn't want.
Everybody who loves the Eagles fans say the same thing. Yes, everybody.
I didn't want no problems.
Another thing about that is when you look at who he's played with over the years, he's never had another Hall of Famer that I can think of. at any skill position.
Greatest receiver was a 7th-round pick from Hofstra.
Joe Horn? Horn?
No, I think Marcus Colston was better than Horn, in my opinion. I think Colston was better than Horn.
I don't know. Joe Horn was that guy. I think Joe Horn.
Joe Horn was a baller, though, Dev.
But wasn't he there mostly for like the time before that, the Aaron Brooks time?
Yeah, he was. He was a little. He was. I think he only played 3 or 4 seasons with Breeze.
Okay.
But
I
never
know
thought about Breeze as a system guy, Jimmy. But when you brought that up, I actually went and looked. And the fact is, he never even came close to throwing for 4,000 yards until he got in New Orleans. His very first year in New Orleans, 2006, he threw for 4,400 yards when before that his high was like 3,570. So after that, like, he never threw for under 4,000.
You can hand the ball off to LT and get a gazillion yards.
Yeah.
I mean,
he has 4,000 or 5,000 yard seasons though. And he did it as early as 2008, so you can't even blame that on the new, you know what I'm saying, the new football, the new era.
But also, before he came to New Orleans, he was playing with LT, who was like throwing touchdowns, running touchdowns, and doing everything himself.
Yeah,
like LT was a one-man offense back then.
LT handed the ball off to himself.
Yo, and people forgot about him too. People forgot how talented of a player he was. He gonna be one of them dudes that's like caught in the mix.
So Breeze and Horn only played 1 year together, and Horn only played 10 games and only started 9 games that season. So they really never got a chance.
What year was that?
2006, and he only had 37 receptions for 679 yards. So they never really got the rock together. And he was
right about that.
next year in 2007.
So Colston was his guy.
7th round from
his guy.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, the talent, the big names were never there for him until like Jimmy Graham came along. But you know, he did his thing. So shout out
a couple comments out there. We got comments in the chat room by Skyview. Salute to Skyview for being in the chat room. He says that if the cornerback makes the tackle last year against Minnesota, then Drew Brees is probably considered the GOAT. And he said, here's another barometer. How many times has Drew Brees' entire receiver rotation changed? Like,
a lot. A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hank in our group chat.
He used to be there. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he never had the big names, and he always had turnovers.
Hank is saying Sproles, Reggie Bush, and Jimmy Graham were great weapons to get passing yards with. Yo, funny thing is, how's Jimmy Graham's career doing without Brees?
Jimmy Graham's he's always banged up though. But no, that's a good point as well, because I always make that point when people talk about McNabb and all they want to say is Pinkerton and Rash, but he did have other weapons on the thing. But that's the difference though. Brees isn't, and I heard somebody call Brees the check down king a couple of days ago. I'm like, you watch football, guys? But
yeah, you don't watch football.
Yeah, like I don't look at them the same, but I did used to bring people down with that McNabb argument because he had dynamic weapons like Westbrook, you know, Chad Lewis before him, Pro Bowl tight end. You know, he had weapons, but the only thing people seem to look at is the catch on the but it didn't matter because I felt that Brees made those guys
about it,
or at least help elevate their games to make it look like they weren't just some nobodies and some bums. So they showed you that they were.
I think Drew Brees is right there. If you can make the argument. See, it's weird. That's why I don't like to make it a GOAT argument. But because when I think about the best person I play, like I always thought that at their ultimate playing the game, and this is no bias, I always thought that Elway was the best in terms of at his peak until the God in Green Bay came around. And when I watched him at his peak, it was like Elway 2018. Like, he did everything Elway did, but he's so much faster and more athletic. I was like, at his peak, I've never seen anyone with that skill set. I just haven't seen anything like that. But at the same time, now I'm starting to wonder
did you think who would you take, no bias, Jimmy, Elway or Marino, and why?
Me personally?
Well, we already know that.
I would take Elway. Yeah, I personally would take Elway. I think Marino is one of the guys. Probably because he was more athletic.
More athletic?
To me, more clutch when it comes to playing quarterback. So in terms of just pure arm, pure passer, Marino, but everything else I would take Elway for. But
I mean,
me,
if we just talk,
Aaron
if
Rodgers,
you break it down to pure
both.
passer, I'm not sure you could put anybody over Marino.
No, but here's the thing.
Elway would translate better to this era than Marino would.
I honestly think that the ball in Green Bay is right there as a pure pass. To me, that's what's so crazy about him. It's like it's like Elway or Marino went broke back and had a baby named Aaron. Like it's crazy.
Even in that vein, it depends on your definition of pure, because Aaron Rodgers is he's probably the greatest arm talent that we've ever seen, because a lot of his passes are still unorthodox. You're not supposed to throw the ball the way he throws it sometimes, but he just makes it
at this point we like grasping that straw. We talk about arm talent and pure passer. I don't know what the difference between
just making our own categories up.
Get arm talent. Ball got a arm talent. I don't even know what that is.
These are new buzzwords, man. It's the new age buzzword.
Arm talent. But my point is,
his legs ain't talented.
Here's what I'm worried about, though. What I'm worried about is it seems like the God in Green Bay is always banged up. So he's always
it's gonna mess with his legacy at some point.
Yeah. So even when he plays, he's not 100%. He's never had like really a lot of talent around him. So I think that but he has his chips, which means he'll get a pass for the rest of his career. But when we start to compile and look at the table of gods and all these things, it's just so difficult in football because you need so many things to go right. So many, that one play in Minnesota last year, like to really change how people look at Drew Brees. That one play.
Yeah, it's fair enough. That's a very fair statement. I don't know, man.
Salute to Skyview in the chat room who said that as much as he hates Denver, always the greatest quarterback of all time. I'm only saying salute to you because you're a Raiders fan. I would never thought I'd hear you say that.
Skyview,
somebody go get Guinness. Somebody go get Guinness. I don't know what Guinness said. Go get Guinness. Tell me to write this down.
You're supposed to keep that to yourself. But I can see how you think that because, your team is probably one that he destroyed more than anybody else. But
you got to see that work.
Skyview. How you liking?
Why y'all think I be taking up for like Eli and Romo? Because they sitting here telling us that our quarterback is better than all of them, and I never saw it. On the low, y'all know how I feel about Tony Romo. I'd have traded McNabb's entire lineage, 20 generations forwards and backwards to have Tony Romo. Damn, you killing me.
Especially if he can only play the first 3 quarters. But Skyview, how you liking John Hurts?
three quarters in 10 minutes.
Anyway, man.
All
right. Drew Brees, man. Salute to Drew Brees, man. Wherever it is, man, we know that you amongst the gods.
Yeah, he's at the table. He's at the table.
We are way behind, so we are going to have to skip over these grind topics, man, because this thing of ours is coming up, and we got to talk about this. And we also got some callers on the line. We see y'all. We're going to rapid fire through these birthdays, and then Jimmy's going to take us into some NBA talk, and we're going to hit the phone lines while we're inside of that NBA talk as well. So y'all know the drill. Y'all can check out the website at warroomsports.com. But if you want to call in and speak with us about because we're about to go full throttle on basketball, dial the Digital Extreme Tech hotline at numbers 323-410-0012. Press 1 when prompted. But if you're listening from your phone, just make sure you press 1 if you holler at the brothers. All right, we're going to give you some quick birthday shout-outs. The birthdays are brought to you by your mama and your daddy.
Yay!
Michelle Wee turns 29 years old. Yo, this, I just knew Michelle Wee had to be pushing 40. This shows you how young you are when you start in those type of sports. How is Michelle Wee, who's been in our conscious, she's been on our radar for I don't know how many years. How is she only 29 years old? Like, come on, man.
But we heard about her when she was 13.
Yo, my question is, she's 29. She's 29 now. What's she looking like right now? Stevie J voice.
Where's your bread?
I mean, I'm just asking, where's your bread?
B, you said tennis, you meant golf. Yo,
I know,
that too.
Yo, Beyonce just winging it. He don't know what we talking about. He's like, who Michelle Williams? Anyway, go ahead.
I'm curious too.
I'm not familiar with either of those sports.
I think I used to peep
my man
Michelle Williams and then be thinking to myself like, wait, is she old enough for me to be looking at?
My man B. Austin said Drew Brees is definitely a Hall of Fame point guard. Yo, B. Austin, you worse than me, cuz. Don't you ever diss me about my non-sports watching, and you worse than me, B.
Nah, I watch This Thing of Ours, foosball, and soccer.
No, you don't.
I don't watch none of them other sports.
I think you might watch more soccer than anything else. I think you fraud with the rest, but that's either here nor there. Go ahead, Dad.
Yeah, I know Michelle, and this is why. I just looked it up. Yo, she became the youngest player to qualify for a USGA Amateur Championship. She was 10 years old. That's what I'm saying. We've known this since like 1999. So how is she only 29 years old? All right. Anyway,
see if you
that's crazy.
Pull up lately. Let me pull some pictures.
Look up some 2018 photos though. Mike Conley Jr.
She looks like
B. Austin's favorite point guard.
My fault.
You're. B. Austin's favorite point guard, Mike Conley Jr. turns 31 to match how many M's he's getting per year. Desmond Mason. Remember Desmond Mason? He's 41.
Mason.
Shout out to Des. Des used to have hops. He was an all right little player in his day.
Yes, he did.
Cherokee Park.
Not all right, but he definitely has now.
46 years old. Chris Spielman, who used to play for the Vikings, he's 53 years old. And columnist Thomas Boswell turned 71 years old. We like to give a war room salute to all of these on their birthday. Salute and shout out to all of y'all. All right.
Yes, sir.
This thing of ours. Let's get it, man. It's here.
Yeah, man. And for those who don't know, our NBA Talk is brought to you by Digital Extreme Technology. Salute to the Digital Extreme Tech. Do you or your business need a custom website? Well, for dynamic, professional, and most of all, affordable custom website solutions, you need Digital Extreme Technologies. There's no need to pay $1 gazillion for a website. You need a custom website from Digital Extreme Tech. Do that by going to digitalextremetech.com or call 267-205-4203. Tell them how you heard about them, and they're going to hook you up. There's no need to have a Wix site. If you got a Wix site, immediately right now, go to the roof of your home and jump off. Anyway, man, it is definitely time to talk about this thing of ours.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Salute to my man Colin Kaepernick, and because of that, right now I'm like doubled down on my love for this thing of ours, man. But I have to start off with some sad news, man. Rest in power to the God Tex Winter. You know, it's funny because
of the triangle.
See, look, Beyonce just found out right now. Yeah, rest in peace, Tex Winter. You know, it's funny because I saw 11 people make the same joke, which was it was funny at first, but then I see 50 people make the same joke, which say that they wonder if his gravestone is going to be shaped like a triangle. So you know, but Tex Winter, that just shows you when you hear the name Tex Winter, the first thing you think of. But rest in power to the God.
Think about all the championships that was won off of his back, and he don't get credit for.
My thing is, I think about the fact that my man was 96 years old. That is a full life.
Yeah, the good one. We can celebrate.
96 years old.
B. Austin, he was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, no more suffering, because I know it ain't easy to be 96. You know what I mean?
Dog, he's more than he's almost 3 times my age, and I know what it feels like to get out of the bed in the morning. So imagine being 96 and having to get out of bed, yo.
I'll be jumping out of bed, feel like I got gout. I got gout. The older you get, the more you respect old people. So salute to Tex Winter, the full life, man. Hoops legend. Gotta say that. Man, the story that don't seem to go away is your boy Jimmy Butler. He came up earlier. Tobias called him to talk about Jimmy Butler. But Jimmy Butler went to practice, right, after all this confusion. That was the first time you're hearing the story. But Jimmy Butler went to practice in Minnesota. First practice he went to this season.
First practice he went to this season because he's been avoiding the team. So, by the way, B. Austin, he's trying to get out of Minnesota, whether he did it or not. So he goes to prove a point. He goes to practice, with the third squad playing against the first squad and wipes them off the floor. And all the reports say that he was the best player on the floor by far, talking trash the whole time to the coaches, to the owners, to the players, and cooking them and doing everything in terms of grabbing rebounds, assists, scoring. He dominated and beat the first team with the third team just with him on it. And it became a controversy because of how nasty and filthy he was talking to everybody. So I guess he proved his point.
Jimmy Butler is now my favorite.
He looked over at Scott Layden like, see, y'all need me. But no, they said it was crazy. And the story keeps going. Today, there was a report that Jimmy Butler called a players-only meeting. But then Jeff Teague jumped on the Twitter and told the person who reported that they were making up fake news and it wasn't true. But then Jimmy Butler came on later and confirmed that there was a players-only meeting. So it's getting really weird in Minnesota right now. Jimmy is talented. But one thing I think we can say about Jimmy at this point, Jimmy is a bit of a locker room cancer. Whether you look at that as a negative or a positive, because I think he's tougher than these guys that he's playing with, and he's going to be honest with these dudes. But in today's society, we got to go back to 2018 with it. You know, these young dudes don't take too kindly to that. So it's kind of cancerous.
Listen, man.
Because you're the only dude in there with that. Like we thought Kobe and Garnett was the last of the bunch. I think Jimmy might have grabbed the torch from them and is trying to keep.
Listen, man. All I'm gonna say is this, man. Jimmy is definitely standing tall and talented, but his stats don't allow him to talk the way he does. Oh, that was mean. So
bars. I see what you did there. Even if you
but the
didn't
fact of
see
the matter
the game.
is, but the fact of the matter is, for him to do that, like, it kind of embarrasses his team. I think Tobias brought it up. It makes those other two guys look like noodles too. And those two guys we're talking about are Cat and the gentleman from the soft gentleman from Canada, who was the number one pick.
They have I remember and let people know this is their team. They make the most money.
That was their opportunity to like go ham and like destroy him, and they couldn't do it. So it kind of says something to me about them as well. I literally remember like reading articles and watching interviews, and people were saying that Andrew Wiggins is the next LeBron, right? Mm-hmm. He does everything on the floor well.
You remember the Sixers fans, Jimmy? Rigging for Wiggins. Rigging for Wiggins.
Mm-hmm. Rigging for Wiggins was definitely a thing.
The funny thing is he's not have Joel Embiid.
He's not a bad player, but it's like, I think, and shout out to Tobias, because me and Tobias
he
never
puts up numbers.
He put up some fire points today. Yeah, he put up some fire points. He does put up numbers. He has skills, but he doesn't seem to have. It's something missing there. That dog, like it's like he doesn't want it. Like, and I know we don't try to become body language experts, although we all do it at times watching hoops. But it's something about watching him play where it's like he don't care enough.
Yeah, he just talent is gonna get him 20 a night, but if he had the dog, he'd probably be up there with everybody else, like 27 a night. He just,
Now, but the thing is, maybe you think it's too late, or do you think he still has an opportunity to get that, or maybe it's coaching or someone can like.
Jimmy could put this chip on his shoulder, but that's true. If it's not in you, it's just not in you.
It ain't any. It ain't. Okay. It ain't any.
But if there's something in him, this Jimmy situation should be the thing to bring it out. I mean, you got Jimmy Butler. You got Jackson, who was disrespecting him on social media a couple weeks ago. If it's in there, this is when it's going to come out. If it doesn't come out now,
that's a good point.
Then we know that it's not in there.
That's a good point. And also, you got to think about the fact that I think Jimmy was like the last pick of the first round or a second round pick or something like that. Whatever it was, he wasn't a lottery pick. And you're talking about the other two guys are guys who were supposed to be good, number one picks of the draft.
Both number one
and
picks.
he just he had to earn his. He basically had to earn whatever it is that he has. He had to earn. Not that you don't earn it being a number one pick, but it's a difference when you earn it in the league versus just having, being a blue chip prospect.
Right.
So
no one expected Jimmy Butler to get paid this much money to play basketball. Period.
Yeah, Tobias says he was the last pick in the first round and made himself into an all-star, and I agree with that. Tobias, you gotta stop saying stuff I agree with tonight, man. I need to argue with you. Anyway, moving on though, Anybody? I mean, any other thoughts about Jimmy? Like, where do you see this playing out before we move on? Where do you see this? How do you see this playing out? Like, is he going somewhere else? Or?
Yeah, he's going somewhere else. He's going somewhere else.
I don't know if
that's
he's going
based on what you said
right now, though. Because
not immediately.
Just like I didn't think Kyrie had the leverage. Like, I don't know where the leverage is coming from with these guys. I don't know. I don't think Tibbs. I think Tibbs likes what Jimmy's doing and likes what's going on. So I'm sure he doesn't want to get rid of him. So if they can't get anything back, you're not going to, when you trade stars, you're never going to get equal value. But if they can't get anything back that's worth their while, I think they'll just grin and bear it, because he has said that he wouldn't miss regular season games if he still was on the team, come next week. So there you go right there. That's showing them, like, all right, he's going to ball. He might be mad and disgruntled, but he's going to ball. So I might keep him for a little while.
Please tell me y'all saw, or be off, I know you ain't see it, but tell me you saw Tillman Fertitta, the Rockets owner, what he said about Jimmy Butler. Because, that's one of the teams that have been trying to trade for Jimmy Butler.
I did not.
Like, did you see?
But I heard it was like some tampering.
To me, I was sitting there watching it like, I can't believe he said this. Well, I was listening to it. It was like on a podcast. He was like, we definitely would love to have him on our team. He was talking about how he would fit in with the team. He's like, but, we're not going to, like, give up certain pieces for him. Like, we're not going to, break our team up.
He was making a deal publicly, basically.
So part of me is like, all right, he's a new owner. He doesn't get it. But also, I'm a fan of Tillman Fertitta because he has one of the illest, like, CNBC shows that's on TV. And I'm like, he has to know, or maybe he's one of them dudes like, I'll pay the fine, but I'm putting this out there because I'm negotiating, like, like basically putting it out in the public. Like, but to me, I was like, they got, and by the way, his CNBC show is called $1 Billion Buyer. Anybody wants to watch it, it's a pretty good business show. And he had this show before he even bought the Rockets, and he actually still records it. Because the boy got a bazillion other businesses. Like, if I start naming them, you're like, oh, damn, he own that too? So he's one of them guys. But as he was talking about this, I'm like, he has to know this is tampering, or he's just too green, or maybe he's being slicker than I think, trying to get something done.
Right. Like, it could have been a lot of layers to what he was doing. Like, he could have also been, like, driving the price up for any of his direct competitors who might be trying to make a move. You know what I'm saying? Say the Lakers wanted to get involved or something like that. He's going to tell you what he's not going to give up. So the Lakers are like, man, well, if we beat the offer that he's publicly putting out there, then we can get him. But then the Lakers may gut themselves a little bit, and Houston keeps the upper. I think there could have been a lot of layers to that, dude.
Yeah, I just think it's ill that he owns a casino that has sports betting and he owns a sports franchise. He's getting paid on, like, all kinds of ends of a sports game. But with that being said, though, I just don't know where this goes. The Rockets, like, because here's the thing, right? Everybody's trying to compete with the Warriors. Everybody knows that. But I think the problem is people are just trying to put names on the squad, and that's not going to work. Yeah, you're not going to beat them just putting names on the squad, because you have to get people that fit into the right pieces. Exactly. So that's also a problem too. But anyway, man, speaking of like competing with the Golden State Warriors, a lot of people believe that the Lakers will be the team, not to say beat them, but just like, compete with them this season. And, Lonzo Ball finally came back looking like he somehow found an HGH store, or maybe that's why he's not spending time with his seed, because he's been hitting the gym real crazy.
He looked like he ain't show up for leg day, and that's probably because he was getting surgery on his knee. But he one of them dudes. Lonzo B. Austin. Lonzo looked like Corey Beard. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but that's what he.
Lonzo Ball
came
back like,
Yeah, like
he's like a weightlifter. My man, like, I'm a full weightlifter now. I don't even play ball.
But he skipped out on leg day. I just wanted to jump to, like,
Jim Jackson.
I wanted to speak on this briefly because I know we got to make our picks and predictions. I'm of the opinion that I don't think the Lakers should start Rondo over Lonzo Ball. I think Lonzo should be the starter. Yeah, because they had already made the decision, and we think they were being sneaky. They were acting like while Lonzo recovers and heals from his knee surgery. But I think that was their easy way of breaking it to him that he's going to be the backup all season. I don't think that should be the case. I think Lonzo should start because, first of all, Lonzo is a better player than a lot of people want to give him credit for. People are going to be harder on Lonzo because of his dad. So everything he does, people are looking at through a microscope. But if, these same people are the stat people, but if you look at what he did last year as a rookie, like he damn near averaged a triple-double as a rookie. The only problem in his game really was the shooting, and I guess sometimes the effort. But I think he can learn a lot from Rondo, and this doesn't necessarily mean you have to sacrifice Rondo's minutes because when Rondo does come into the game, I think there are points where they can play together. Lonzo's 6'7", you could put him at the 2, slide Rondo to the 1. You'll have other lineups where LeBron is going to be doing all the point guard duty. So I think Luke Walton could be creative and mix and match everything to where Rondo still gets his minutes and he still gets his late game clutch minutes without that affecting the starting position of Lonzo Ball. I don't think they should put him on the bench, man.
I think it's interesting. Because it's one of those things again where I can see both sides of the equation. I even start to think like, all right, so there's first of all, when your name is Kentavious, you probably shouldn't start anyway. But
I was about to say, their two guys are definitely expendable. Like, get him out of there.
So my question is, do you try to play Lonzo at the 2? Now it's kind of crazy having a shooting guard that can't shoot, but
not guard that can't.
Would you experiment?
Like I really still think.
Would you experiment with playing both of them?
Not in the starting lineup. I would start Lonzo, bring Rondo off the bench, but still give Rondo important minutes. And that's the guy who's going to lose out in the end would be KCP. He's going to get less minutes. He's going to start the game, but he probably won't finish the game. He probably won't get the same kind of minutes that everybody else gets. But I just, for some reason, I think that'll be a good look.
To me, it's very interesting because I also think about the LeBron effect, right? So I think that although Lonzo does contribute the way he does, if he contributes the way he does, I still think that he's like a work in progress. Like, he still has to develop. And I wonder if LeBron being there, like, what's his game long term? Because LeBron is probably like, give me Rondo. He's been like, been there before. The way LeBron talks about Rondo now, you would think.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so it's like, you develop on your own time. Right now, we chip chasing. So, I don't know.
I just think, especially like the two players that they're excited about, the Lonzo Balls and the Brandon Ingrams, I think those dudes probably should be in there playing off LeBron as much as possible. And even though they'll still be developing, I think they're talented enough to keep the team, I don't think they're going to hurt the team by them being out there with him. But then you throw them in by themselves in like a second lineup, even though, a lot of teams just don't go 5 for 5, 5 on the subs. But, we still have these cliches of second lineups. Let Rondo, a more experienced point guard, run with the less experienced dudes in the second unit, and maybe you won't have that big of a fall off when dudes like LeBron go to the bench. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, but you can make the argument. You can make the argument the other way too, though. Let young Ball come into the lineup with him and Kuzma, and they could do their thing. They could do their 1-2 thing. I mean, it's interesting. We'll see how it plays out. But Kuz is letting that thing fly. Kuz don't care if Bron in there. He don't care if Zoe in there. Kuz don't care if Jordan in there. Kuz is letting it fly. He gonna grab the ooh-ah. It's over with. He gonna be like Jerry out the back of the Cherokee.
We definitely got to do our picks and awards real quick. So some of the stuff we're just going to have to skip till next week. It ain't important anyway. But real quick, let's get Rob on the line for 1 minute because he's been waiting for a minute. He's talking about his Lakers. Rob, what's going on? This has to be short, my brother, or we're going to bang on you. So let us know what's your thoughts about your Lakers and give us a prediction for your Eagles on Thursday Night Football. What's up, brother?
All right, man. All I got to say is, shout out to Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yo, what's up, man? All I gotta say is, shout out to my Dodgers, man. Hopefully the Dodgers, pull this one in. You know what I'm saying? LA's finest. And yo, man, we gotta knock out and for the Giants, man, we gotta knock out the Giants like the Red Sox knock out the Yankees. You know what I'm saying? Send in New York. I'm about to curse. Send New York dudes packing. You know what I'm saying? With their Timberlands and boots and whatever the hell they do over there.
Your dad been talking trash to you this week?
No, I mean, and by the way, I know New Yorkers, try to get mad at your calls like, yo, man, why wouldn't say this? Be coming over here, man. Yo, I went to PS 273. I live in Fairview Towers. It's called Meadowgate in East New York, Brooklyn, East New York. I live in Jamaica, Queens, Rochdale Village. You know what I'm saying? Holla at me, okay? I used to live there. It is what it is.
So what's your thoughts real quick about what we were talking about? Do you think they should go along with the plan that they just put forth? Do you think Rondo should be the starter this season over Lonzo? Or do you think vice versa?
Yes, I think Rondo because it's too much. He's acting too Hollywood and distant stuff. In L.A. there's a glamour side, but there's a baller side here.
Either that or popping needles. But he's obviously been working this summer. Either that or popping needles, because I'm pretty sure you saw what he looked like when he took his warm-up off last night.
I mean, he got good look, man. He got too many looks, but the thing is, first of all, shout out to Mr. Ball. You know what I'm saying? He got right there. He's been working hard. But the thing is his focus. Is his focus gonna be on balling, or is his focus gonna be on getting yams? That's the thing. Is he gonna be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or is he gonna be a Dwight Howard? You know what I'm saying?
That ain't possible.
It depends.
All right,
I'm talking about as far as focus. I want Rondo there because Rondo's a baller and Rondo got focus. Lonzo doesn't have focus. He's still young. Kyle Kuzma has focus. He knows we here to win a championship. LeBron's here to win a championship and make money. He already got the money going to lay down, but we want to be here to win a championship. That's all I got to say. And, shout out to the Eagles. Please beat the Giants. You know what I'm saying? We're still world champs. Tell Fred that that I'm surprised he didn't go to White House with Tom Brady. To shake hands with Trump. But that's his boy. That's all I gotta say.
All right, Rod. No doubt. Thanks for your call, man. We wrap to you next week. All right, I'm ready to do this when y'all are.
Yes, sir. It's time to get those picks for the season. B. Austin, you ready?
Not at all.
Okay, well let's start with you, man. Well, let's start with you then, since you ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? Because me and Dev don't want to give our picks and you just sit there and
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, who you got in the conference championship? East Conference, Western Conference championship.
Eastern Conference championship is going to be Boston versus Toronto. The Western Conference championship is going to be Golden State versus OKC.
Okay. All right. Now, who you got in the finals?
Golden State versus Boston.
Now, who you got winning the finals?
Warriors. I'm out.
All right. All right. Well, let's go fast and run through your picks right now, preseason for these various awards. Coach of the year. Who you got?
Coach Tom Thibodeau.
All right, Tom.
Gonna rein in Jimmy, and they're gonna get the number 3 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Most improved player.
Lonzo Ball.
Yeah. Defensive player of the year.
Kawhi Leonard.
Good pick. Sixth man of the year. Sixth man of the year.
Carmelo Anthony.
Melo, that's news to him. He's like, hold up, I ain't starting.
Hold up, I'm about to say, you sure? Like, all right.
No, I'm going Lou Will.
They're gonna break it to him.
Lou Willville.
Yeah,
No,
that's what y'all be Austin to be watching.
Pick,
Who you got as rookie of the year, B. Austin?
I don't even know the rookies yet.
All right, well, way to keep it a B. Way to keep it a B. Who you got as the MVP of the league? Who you got as the MVP of the league?
Yo,
LeBron.
All right, LeBron. All right, Dev. I'm gonna run through mine real fast and then let you go last. My conference chips. I actually have the Warriors playing the Lakers. Believe it or not, I got the Lakers in the conference chip, the LeBron factor. In the Eastern Conference, I have the Sixers playing the Raptors. I think the Raptors are going to beat Boston in the playoffs, and they're not even going to get to the. Anyway, finals. I got the Warriors playing the Sixers, and I got the Warriors winning another championship. For the awards, coach. First of all, for these awards, I think some of these joints they already stamped. They already got the actual they already got everything written out, checks made. You know what I'm saying? Everything's already done. For instance, the coach of the year, I think it's Brad Stevens to lose, right?
I thought that last year
player, though,
they played my man out last year.
Most improved. So it's like the Oscars though. Most improved player, I got Brandon Ingram. I think Brandon Ingram is ready to take that next step. Only thing they can get in his way is like LeBron ball hogging, but I think he's ready. He needs to figure out where Zoe getting his medicine from though. Defensive player of the year, Gobert, because Gobert is just going to average 8 blocks a game. Sixth man of the year, I was going to go Lou Will. I was going to say Lou Will, which is the easy pick, but I'm going to go Eric Gordon, coming off the pond, being the sixth man of the year, unless he's getting shipped off in the trade for Butler. Now, rookie of the year, I think this is already a done deal, because my man can do nothing but like make a foul shot and somehow make SportsCenter. But Luka Doncic is going to be the rookie of the year. I know a lot of people like Sexton and all that, but no, dog, it's done. It's a done deal, dog. He the new Dirk. And the most valuable player in the league this year, I think, is going to be the Greek Freak. I think the Greek Freak is going to take it to another level this year and average something ridiculous. And I think he's going to win the MVP of the league. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on Milwaukee overall.
Exactly. I think Milwaukee going to crash this party in the East that everybody thinking, at least they're going to make it interesting once the playoffs come.
Milwaukee and the Raptors, they ain't soft.
Yeah.
They ain't soft, dude. All right, Dev. Who you got for the conference chips and everything else?
In the East, I have the same as Jimmy. I have the Sixers and the Raptors. We both got Boston being crowned a little too early. In the West, I got the Rockets and the Warriors. In the finals, I got the Raptors and the Rockets. The Warriors the mellow factor.
Nice.
What's wrong with y'all? And the champions, Harden going to travel to his first championship. You like what I did there?
I saw what you did.
All right, so for the awards, Coach of the Year, I'm going to go with Quinn Snyder on this one, but my honorable mention is the coach Brad Stevens. I know right now. Most improved player, my first thought was to go with Aaron Gordon because I think dude is going to step it up another level this year. Most improved player going to be MF Doom, Markelle Fultz. You heard it here first. Defensive player of the year, Joel Embiid. You heard it here first. Sixth man of the year, shout out to Lou Willville, but I'm going with J.J. Redick. You heard it here first.
Okay, you homer, you.
Rookie of the year, I'm going with Luka Doncic, like Jimmy. And for my MVP, this going to be. It's crazy that I'm having to use the word shocker, but I'm actually going with Kevin Durant for the MVP. Even though he plays on a team where everybody kind of lessens everybody else's chance of winning awards because they're so good. I think Kevin Durant, I think he has this chip on his shoulder, especially since he's going to leave this team in free agency and goes hop on LeBron's back. I think he has that chip on his shoulder, like, all right, I've done it in the finals. But for a whole season, if I can do it and get the MVP on this team with this talent, because Steph hadn't gotten the MVP since Kevin's been there. I think Kevin's going to try to get that year. But then again, they only play for chips, and dudes might be resting like 13 games, and that'll throw a whole wrench in my program.
So you think Kevin really wants to go play? He really wants to go play in LA with LeBron. Like he trying to get down with LeBron and Maverick, and then on the business side.
Does. Like even though he's his hell, you would be sensitive. You wouldn't do any moves like that again. But at the end of the day, I don't think he cares. I think if he gets this chip and he's tied with LeBron for rings, then he wouldn't mind going to help Bron win more because he'll get more, and LeBron will never be ahead of him if they do it.
Yeah. So you think that?
So it's crazy. So excuse my homer picks, y'all, but when I thought about it, I was dead on. Like I was really going to put other people. I was going to put Aaron Gordon. I was going to go with Lou Will. I was going to do that stuff just because I'm like, yo, I've never sounded this homerish on this show. But real talk.
I mean, you ain't give Ben Simmons no awards though, dog.
Said that if Fultz starts, I think JJ will come off the bench averaging probably almost damn near the same that he averaged starting for this team. So if you could get 16 or something like that from JJ, 14, 16.
All Ben Simmons got to do is make. If Ben Simmons makes 10 3-pointers this entire season, he might win the Most Improved Player award. That's all he got to do.
Most Improved Jair award.
Yo.
Yeah, but I'm with Ayton might get the joint, but I'm Luka, man. Luka just looks like he's NBA ready.
Man,
he's putting up numbers in the preseason, like 20 and 10. But Luka just looks like he's not a rookie. He looks like he's in here.
The media also loves Luka, dog. Like it's crazy. Yeah. Like, you know, I don't want to make it like a great white hype thing, but they love Luka though. Like, you know,
looking for the
like
next Dirk, who's playing with Dirk. So it's a done.
Yeah, they're treating Luka like he's Justin Timberlake and whatnot. Like, but you know, I think it's
the defensive player of the year. Like, shout out to AD and Rudy Gobert, but Joel said he's out to get it, and he's probably gonna injure himself trying to get it though.
The reason I picked Gobert, because I was thinking about Embiid for that, but I think Embiid still has to have a bigger offensive load, Paul, than Gobert does. Gobert don't even have to play offense. All he has to worry about is defense. Like Joel won't have to.
But you know what today. You know what goes in his favor today? These advanced analytics, because they do the numbers of defense when he's on the floor and when he's not. He could be in there not doing a damn thing, but when he's on the floor, they're a better defensive team, and I think that kind of stuff.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that.
For Gobert,
that same thing.
Rudy really be doing.
Yeah, because Rudy be doing stuff, and that's all he does. Like he don't even I think he stays on the other end of the floor when they go play offense. Like he don't even come down. Right. He said, I'm going to stay right here until y'all come back and just play this defense real quick. So, I see y'all. Yo, that's interesting, though. I think the whole Durant line, I think that's interesting, too, because I actually thought about that, but I was like, I don't know. That's interesting, though. Let's see him get, especially
comments before we go. He said Jimmy Butler and Doc Rivers will have a connection in Los Angeles Clipperland. He said the Lakers can't shoot. That's what their problem is going to be. I kind of agree with that. The Lakers cannot shoot. He said Rob got beat up in school, didn't he? And then he said MVP Armour contract dictates it. And that's one of the stories that we passed on in the grind. Embiid did just sign an Under Armour contract that'll make him the richest center in the league. But we'll
that ain't hard to be in here, but still.
Yeah.
Salute to Embiid for his contract. I think Kevin Durant will be in LA producing movies, or should I say next spring he'll be in LA. Never mind, slow it down. Anyway,
predictions real quick. I think Milwaukee, like we said, might throw a wrench in this Boston Philly party that everybody's talking, and even so, and look for the Cavs to fight for a playoff spot. I'm done. Go Bird.
I think people really need to stop sleeping on the freaking Bucks. Slow it down. Anyway, thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining us for another person in the War Room. Shout out to everybody in the chat room, Facebook, Twitter, everybody in the group chat. Salute to y'all. All the calls we called got through. We appreciate it. Those we can get to, we apologize. Special thanks to Gus, for doing this thing. He's doing this NFL thing. Tune in next week live right here on demand as we recap NFL Week 6 and preview Week 7. We'll also catch you up on everything happening in Week 1 of the National Basketball Association. Oh, my God, I can't wait. The MLB postseason and everything else around the world of sports. So until then, enjoy your football weekend, enjoy your LCS series, and enjoy NBA tip-off. Man, it's so much sports. We'll see you right back here next time. Catch all of our conversations, Facebook or Twitter. As a matter of fact, catch everything we do at the Hub, which is WarRoomSports.com. That too. Also, make sure you pick up a copy of my book, Sports the Book, at SportsTheBook.com or WarRoomSports.com. But until next time, everybody, don't accept mediocrity. Be steadfast in the war against ignorance, and we'll see you chumps on top.
Jimmy, know the blueprint. Every Thursday, 6 to 8, they do this. Shout out to Dev, PJ, B. Austin, Doc Bay on replay. WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app. If not, dial 323-140012. They be going and you sensitive, then oh well. Physical podcast, let's talk sports. Showtime like magic in the box push. Listen live, push one to join in. Rip your team or listen for your enjoyment. Hip hop scholars, pit stop and knowledge. Should be in sports credits, I ain't talking college. 5 guys, no beef though. Corporate secret, but the streets know. Belafonte, I got a G flow. KC, royalty, I'm in beast mode. 2 hours, get your game up. Who's the best in sportscast? You better name us. War Room Sports. Yeah, you know, Jimmy, Dad, DJ, Doc Beck, B. Austin. I'm shot. Up and coming on the beat.
War Room Sports, www.warroomsports.com. What? Ain't no more to it.
The world will change. Drexel University is designed to change with it. By combining academic rigor with a transformative cooperative education program, Drexel is preparing visionary leaders equipped to address the challenges of the future. Learn more at drexel.edu/ambition. Can't wait. The world will change. Drexel University is designed to change with it. By combining academic rigor with a transformative cooperative education program, Drexel is preparing visionary leaders equipped to address the challenges of the future. Learn more at drexel.edu/ambition. Can't wait.